You see these things? I've had it with these things. There's a better way. Now I'm not really going to throw these things away. They're too valuable of a tool to do that with. But what I am going to do is I'm going to employ this thing to do the things that you would normally do with that on this project. Stick with me, let's see what we can do with it. Alright, I've got this pretty stick of Ambrosia Maple. It needs to be a 1/2 inch thick. It's an inch thick. Let's squeeze it down a little bit and then cut it to stock length. It needs to be 12 inches. Sending these through the planer serves two purposes. It gets rid of the words that are all over it. We'll flip them over here and continue. Houston, we have a problem. Alright, we were able to take off enough of material to get rid of that bad spot. I'll be able to use this over in here. 1/2 inch spacer, perfect. Here's something I do to make my life easier. When using the blue tape and CA glue trick, put your tape on the end. Don't try to tear it like this with your fingers. Use the edge of the wood. Now the next thing will really make your life easier. The next layer gets overlapped over the first layer slightly. So on and so forth across the board. The reason being, when it comes time to peel this off, if you peel it the right way, it'll take all of them at once, not singular. Just remember to overlap them and it'll come off. When you put your metal roofing on your roof, you're supposed to do the same thing. You're supposed to consider the overlap and the wind direction. You want it so that when the opposite of this, so that when the wind blows, it peels off one sheet if it tears off your roof, not all of them. You don't want it to peel off every piece. So pay attention to wind direction when you put steel roofing on your buildings. Little tip from the Hinkle shop for you. What I'm going to do here is zero off this corner. That way when I change stock out, I won't have to re-zero again. It'll all be in the same exact spot. And I always need a hand or somewhere to put my controller, so I made a hand to put my controller on. Here we're cutting out the bottom shelf, the larger shelf. When this completes, it'll move up a little bit and it'll cut out the smaller one right above it. The stock size we're using here is 6 by 12. I'll give you a little taste of this here where it's going to cut out all those little intricate holes. And as you can see, the tape comes off in one piece, just as I said. I'm not going to bore you showing you all of these, but you can see that it gets right down to the blue tape, and then it gives me a little bit of a buffing wheel with the tape going around the top there. Not really, but that's what it looks like. Here we're cutting out the mortise for the shelves. They are 3/16 of an inch deep. I made a little boo-boo here on this first one. Actually, this is the second one. I made the boo-boo on the first one. I should have made the mortises 3/16 of an inch longer than I did. I had to cut a little square out of the bottom back corner of the shelf so that the two sides would come together. But that was a simple fix with the bandsaw. Now these fuzzy things here is because I have a dull blade in my dull bit in my CNC that I didn't realize was so dull, but normally I can sand those right off and they'll go away. Now with this here, we want to be awfully careful that we don't flex and break something because it's extremely delicate. So we're going to take kid gloves and get this thing off of here. And yes, that blue tape holds like crazy. Especially when you drip through a little bit. We got her. So as it turns out, my 1/8 inch end mill is dull and it's leaving some fuzz on the inside here, but typically you can run this over the sander like so and it will clean them right off. But when that doesn't work, these little toothbrushes for beavers, because they're wire instead of fiber, will get in there and remove that fuzz for you with minimal effort. At least that's how it works for me. Just get in there and brush out these nooks and crannies. Looking better already, like it's gone to the dentist. So I'll continue here and get these all cleaned up, and then we'll glue that thing together. Maybe with some of this stuff. CA glued it up. Alright, let's pretend this is the moment of truth and I didn't try this off camera so I wouldn't look foolish. Does it work? By golly, what a surprise, it does. And it's flush on the back side. Of course, I haven't glued them in yet, but by golly, it works. Right on the first try, as far as YouTube knows. Let's glue it together and put some finish on it. Don't fall apart. We got her. Now I just got to figure out where I'm going to hang this thing. Thanks for watching.